Hello and welcome to the daily Black Desert News. Oh yep, oh yep, oh yep, oh yep,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yep, oh yep, oh
Oh,
yep,
yeah.
oh yep,
Oh,
oh
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you guys know
Is this
what?
the official title art?
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
official logo. They might get sued by Capcom soon, hopefully not,
Why?
because it's
This
based
is
on the
Black
R6
Desert.
logo.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
I
it
don't
That's
is.
see
Black Desert.
anything RE6 related.
Oh, well, that's
Hmm.
good then. Maybe I'm just seeing things.
Probably.
Have you guys heard of Black Desert? Has anyone told you about Black Desert?
Hey, I haven't heard of this game at all. You
Oh,
should tell me
wow.
about it.
It is a game published by Damn!
Damn! And Pearl Abyss.
They're the developer. It is a game which... Do you guys remember Dragon's Dogma?
No.
Mm-mm.
Tell me about it.
I'm not here to talk about Dragon's Dogma, goddammit! But Dragon's Dogma is a game which I really like. And this game looks... It reminds me a lot of Dragon's Dogma. Because it is set in like a medieval / fantasy world. And there's combat which looks super neat. And there you go. It's totally Dragon's Dogma 2. Like horses. You didn't have horses in Dragon's Dogma. There's horses in
That's
this.
good.
Holy shit.
I do like the horse. Chris, get out of the picture.
And look at this fight. Oh my god. Like, roar, 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 yeah, roar, yeah. It's so good. It's so good. Holy shit. I'm amazed already. I don't have anything more to say. We should just end this podcast now. Like, this is it.
Looks like very action-packed combat.
Yes. Yes.
It looks like trailer combat is what it looks like so far.
I guess.
It looks like
Hmm?
it looks like Elder Scrolls Online.
I have watched a bit of Elder Scrolls Online. I would say this looks different, especially combat-wise.
Wow. And it's really pretty.
It looks really pretty.
Hey, speaking of pretty, please load a screenshot of a male character.
I'll get to that later. I'll just go through this in order. So there's more combat. Another trailer with combat. Look at it! Look at that! Fact like yeah.
It worries me a bit.
What?
It worries me how many times you have to hit a single enemy to kill it. I don't know like how far this is in the game, but if you have to do this with every single enemy you encounter, then it would just kill you.
Yeah.
Because he's been fighting the same two enemies for like a full minute now.
Also, I just want
And
to point this out.
and that orc over like here, he just sort of walks around.
Yeah,
while
I think he's just
Spencer
also
being
like,
mauled.
I'm just minding my own business. Oh no, night asshole! And then he gets beat up. But yeah, I mean that's a valid worry.
Yeah.
But I think I mean, this is for a trailer, so who knows like how normal combat will end up being.
Yeah, that's like it's kind of hard to tell like what level this dude is and what level they are, and if it's at all comparable or where his health is.
Yeah.
Where is his health?
This is with almost the entire HUD hidden.
Right.
So yeah.
Maybe that's something they plan on balancing with multiple people playing together, like in parties. Or
I mean that is a good point. Actually, I don't think we've even mentioned this so far. This is an MMO,
Yeah.
which can be considered a bad or good thing depending on your point of view. And this is another class, the archer class. I really like all the like acrobatic evade moves. I like those.
Yeah.
Those look like fun. And I've always preferred more active defense in games rather than just like holding a block button.
Yeah.
So I like the look of that. And yeah. I should have prepared a script for this.
Too late.
I mean, it does look like very mobile fighting, and it quick to react to what you're doing,
Yeah.
which is different compared to other MMOs that I've seen or experienced, which is very little.
Especially one thing which is super common in MMOs is that it feels very laggy because usually you will press a button, then you have to wait for the server to like be all, oh yeah, you pressed the button, okay, start animation, and then you have to like wait for the server to do that before it actually appears on screen. Well, this looks to be a lot more immediate. I get the impression of.
Yeah. It looks like it's a lot more client-side. Like every now and then, like even in here, you sort of see an enemy warp like a step or two forward.
Yeah.
Like one of the big dudes sort of just teleported a little bit, but it's not too bad. And
And
it is like, yeah, like immediate and stuff. Yeah.
and while I do appreciate like classic sorcerers with like a staff and big spells, it is kind of refreshing to see a sorcerer class which just beats up the enemies.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I do kind of prefer more hybrid classes over just standing far away and throwing fireballs for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And hand-to-hand close quarters combat is always a nice bonus for anything, any kind of combat.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Like to me it's like I would kind of want to see like a video of just a random person playing this game. Like do you have something that actually shows off the entire HUD? And like maybe just a gameplay video of someone who's in an appropriate level with appropriate gear.
Interesting question there, Gar. As a matter of
Well.
fact, I might have something like that. Although it is footage from an older beta, so it might not be really up to date how the game is now. But I do have some footage here of just random gameplay.
I would be okay with that because it is nice that it's like showing off all the different moves and that there's like more than that. It seems that they're using more than like the same 1 and 2 skill every single enemy. But it is taking a shit ton of time to kill anything.
Yeah,
Just
that
anything at all.
that is true, and like it is also kind of surprising in a way because I think this game was developed by a lot of people who worked on a game called C9, which I've barely tried, and that is kind of the reverse. Like you will be fighting sort of like 20 enemies at the same time, and they all take like just a couple of hits to die.
Yeah.
But that is more like more of an instance game rather than open world. So maybe the open world
Yeah,
aspect
this-
just limits them.
Mm.
So this is a trailer showing more just non-combat stuff in the game.
It does look really pretty.
It
I'm
does
gonna
look it looks stupidly pretty. So you have a
Yeah.
weird system in the game. I think Archimedes will love this. You can befriend NPCs and give them gifts and everything, and then you get quests from them and stuff.
And you make them love you?
Yeah,
Kind of like in Dragon
basically.
Dogma.
Will they take their clothes off? Are they Reynard?
Right.
Probably not.
Oh,
So I think this interface shows like various NPCs you can befriend, and I just want to point out like this looks like an awesome NPC. Just saying.
That does look like a pretty awesome one to say, yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. That does not look like an awesome NPC. That looks like a kid. I don't like kids.
wait, they're children?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Can you pick
Well-
them up and throw them?
Speaking of children, we will see something in a bit which is very, very amazing. Like this is also amazing, but they're just like standing around like being, yeah, I'm standing, yeah. Very good, yeah. It is gonna need.
I do
yeah,
like this. I do like this, like that the animations sort of match
Yeah,
your
yeah, that
environment
that that does look really
rather
good.
than having one sitting animation which you could use everywhere and looks the same everywhere.
Yeah, and here you're stealing stuff from children. Like that is
looks
basically
strange.
the one thing I want from any game.
You can milk a cow.
Yep, yep. I played so many hours of Dragon's Dogma, and I just kept thinking, oh, why can't I milk cows? Oh my god.
I wish I could milk a cow. That would improve my gameplay experience.
And tame horses.
Yeah.
This? What?
This is like Barbie games. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Like so
And-
many mini games going on right now.
And I just want to point out, like, this goblin. Crazy goblin, what is he doing? I don't understand. What is he doing? Awesome.
They're filming a music video.
It does look like he's doing the same thing as all the other guys around him, just in the wrong location.
Yeah. So they're showing stuff now I don't really understand because it's kind of in Korean.
That looked like an auction house.
Yeah, I think I read
Some
something about a system that you can set up vendors which sell stuff for you, so maybe that's the system here.
That might be it, yeah.
I guess you
And
can make
this is
potions
just-
and make food.
This just looks like crafting, yeah.
Yeah. And that's Chris.
Yep.
And you can set up
I
tents.
made a tent. Yay.
And then you set
And
up stuff. That's
make
oh,
a-
wow.
Farm? What?
And you can carry stuff. Isn't that awesome? Like, look at that. Wow. Wow. Carry stuff. Wow. Carry stuff. I love carrying stuff. I don't really understand
Can
half the
we,
stuff happening here. What?
How long is this particular video? And
I think
Uh,
it's nearly done.
okay.
You're not liking the look of this. This is amazing. You can build houses. You can
But
build houses.
You're building
I-
something.
I do like parts of that, yeah. Like I do like this, that you're actually building a thing just in a random
Ah,
place.
look at this red lava. Ah, that looks so good. Oh, lightning. Yes, yes. World map. Oh, yes.
I'm really weird, but lightning and rain is something I get extremely excited about.
Yes.
That looks so pretty.
Is this a weather report?
Yes. I don't know. There's a kind of trading system in the game where you can set up trade routes between cities, and you can like hire NPCs to like trade stuff for you. So I think that's a system being showed off here. I think. The game
I
has a
think it
lot
would
of
be
weird
cool
systems.
if people could just build random buildings just in the world and like just make your own little towns and stuff, because then we'll finally get that Ultima Online experience we had 20 years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a trailer for character creation, which is pretty in depth.
This is probably the main thing I'm interested in, really.
Yeah, this is what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
I'll just skip ahead a little bit, but yeah, like
This is just crazy
it's
to me.
kind of insane all the minor changes you can do.
Yeah. Like I think this is something I'll definitely like just for this alone, I'll probably just play around with this a bit. The only real concern I have is that I remember seeing a gameplay trailer, which I don't know if it's in this set as well, but I remember seeing just some random gameplay and just every archer had the exact same armor on in the exact same color. And
Was
I
the
feel like you won't really be able to differentiate between a lot of characters if they all just end up looking exactly the same anyway, except for their face.
was that video of the first beta?
I'm not sure.
Because the first beta was extremely limited when it came to customization.
Mm.
So if you just
It
saw
might
a
have
ton of
been, yeah.
clones, then that's the reason.
Right.
Although they have said that they're not completely sure if there will be like a dying systems for armor. So I guess that is one concern. If like a certain
Yeah.
armor will always look the same.
One of the things which I didn't really like about like Guild Wars 2 is that I really like their dye system, because you basically just unlocked dyes to use on any part of your armor, and you had just a ridiculous amount of colors. But the problem with the armor system in Guild Wars 2 is that there were only 3 armor sets that you would just get slightly better versions of every single time. So it really you would just look the same regardless of what you did, because everyone's armor just looked the same except in a slightly different color.
That is a shame.
And-
We'll be wearing this.
Yeah, that's like, it would be a shame if that's the case, because they clearly put this much effort into just making a ridiculous character creator. But if it just ends up being pointless because everyone looks the same anyway except for their face, then you're probably not even going to notice it half the time, and that's concerning to me.
I guess we'll just see. I imagine that
Yeah.
that especially for starting areas, you will probably get that problem regardless. But hopefully later
Oh,
on,
yeah,
like
definitely.
you will.
Like starting areas is fair enough, because everyone
Yeah.
starts off with the same character.
I'll just skip ahead a little bit more, but it's kind of just insane everything you can do here. And you have a posing system with a character creator, just for the heck of it.
That is pretty great.
I'll spend
Also,
days here.
I'm reading the chat randomly right now, and are the classes gender locked?
Kinda. They have announced they will be creating new classes, which are basically the same class but a different gender, and but it won't be the exact same class but a different gender. There will be other differences too. So technically yes, but they will be basically making a variant of each class, which is slightly different but the other gender.
Right up.
So hopefully that won't be a big problem.
Yeah.
Look at all the pretty.
Their faces do look like ridiculous, just in
Yeah.
terms of how good they look.
So this is just a video of generic gameplay. This is of the first beta, so the HUD is a bit different, and you can see those two characters.
This is what I meant.
Yeah, and I think that's probably due to it being the first beta.
Yeah. You just immediately start off the video with two people that look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also other changes they've done, like there's some special effects that have changed drastically.
Mm.
But I guess this shows more random.
Look at the sun,
gameplay.
though. Like, if you go back a bit, then the sun just looks...
Yeah.
Give me that.
It looks really pretty. I really like the art style for this.
Like, this is one of those games which I'd probably play just for the graphics. Like, I wouldn't even level up. I'd just run around and just look at things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that the game does end up actually being good, because that would really improve it in that sense.
Yeah, so far, I'd be satisfied just making an extremely beautiful character and sitting him on top of a mountain in a thunderstorm.
Pretty much.
I'm curious.
And the
if you're
combat
gonna-
looks good too.
Curious if you're going to, like, I can see the reaction time for attacking here. So already fired. Well, it's kind of difficult to see when the health bar reacts. But I'm really curious how just the combat feels. I'm hoping it is just immediate, like just everything is immediate, because that is a huge
kinda
problem with
hoping-
MMOs.
I'm kind of hoping it's better than in Terra, because I like that it was different, but you could still just press 1 forever.
Yeah. Well, I
Like,
think
you could just stand still and press 1 for at least the first, like, 10 levels or something.
I think
just...
it will definitely be different, because Terra it does some things very differently in a very good way, but it isn't that different from
Yeah.
typical MMO combat. It is basically more immediate MMO combat where movement and such matters more. Well, this
Yeah.
looks to be more in the vein of something like Dragon's Dogma, where it's just very action based.
Yeah.
And I can remember someone like posted the controls for combat from the beta, and it was more just like hold forward and then attack, hold back and then attack, instead of just the number keys.
Mm.
Okay, I'll just move ahead here. Okay, yeah, these are just a ton of screenshots now, so I'll just go through those. I went to the official site and went to the user screenshot section, and I just saved a ton. I like the motion blur. I probably play without motion blur, but I like the motion blur. It looks good. Good motion blur.
Hmm.
So I've also written down a ton of tidbits I can mention about the game.
Mhm.
For instance, you can ride a camel.
That is a pretty good thing for me.
Yes.
Because I remember playing Metal Slug 3, which is pretty similar to this game.
Yes.
And you can also ride a camel in that game.
Yes.
And I find that it improves my gameplay experience.
Yes.
Why are we zooming in on that?
Aye. And there is friendly fire with specific weapon types in the game. Like you have siege weaponry,
Really?
like cannons and such, and there's completely friendly fire with those. So
That could be fun.
that could be a lot of fun.
That would be pretty. That guy has a pink beard, but
Yeah.
yeah, that would be pretty entertaining.
I like the tone of that picture.
The one with the beard.
No, the one back, that one. Shiny gold and dark and shiny.
Yeah.
Shiny, dark-
Yeah.
dark.
The graphics they just generally look really good. And you have some kind of auto run mode where you can like select a destination and the character will automatically run there, like pathfinding.
Yeah, we haven't seen that since like 2005.
I don't understand why pathfinding is so rare in MMOs. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Like, I think, like you said, like Guild Wars 1, not 2, and Granada Espada were pretty much the only games.
They removed it in
That-
Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, they removed it in Guild Wars 2, which, you
It's-
know,
Yeah, I just want to point out the fox. There's a fox there.
that's pretty cute looking. Cute looking dog.
And graphics are still pretty good.
Also, to people confused, like pathfinding, that you just sort of click somewhere and that your character actually just runs there, and if there's an obstacle, that they run around the obstacle. Like in other MMOs, it's pretty much just you have an auto run and you run forward.
Yeah, literally forward. So if you hit
Just
a wall, then
only
you
forward.
stop.
Yeah, then you just keep running into the wall forever. Like,
Yeah.
and then I guess in Guild Wars 1, they were like, well, you can't jump and stuff anyway, so you might as well add it. And in Guild Wars 2, it was like, well, I guess it's too hard because we have to add jumping and such.
Yeah, it's baffling. And other small details, you can drift while riding horses. You can drift.
I don't know what that means.
Like Mario Kart.
Yes, like a car, like
Oh.
car drifting.
Excellent.
And there are horse racing in the game.
That is pretty exciting.
And they have said
Does that mean that horses are actually different from one another?
Yeah,
Like
I think
that it's not just a horse, and it's like your horse rides 60% faster.
Yeah, I think
Good.
there are horses which have probably different starts as well. I think. So I
I'd
guess
be kind of okay with that because like every mount in every MMO is 60%, 100%. Just every mount.
there's a
And,
system where you have to like.
well, except in Elder Scrolls Online, apparently, where it's like 15% faster horse,
And
and then a really, really expensive horse, which is actually any good. But yeah,
Yeah, isn't Elder Scrolls Online the game where you have to pay a ton of in-game money for a horse, or you can just get the collector's edition, really expensive collector's edition, and then you get a free, really good horse?
I'm not sure if it was a really good horse. At least you get a horse, because apparently just like even the crappy horse was just really expensive.
Yeah.
But the good horse was really, really expensive.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, there's horse racing as I mentioned, and apparently the entire world, literally the entire world, is seamless, including dungeons. There aren't any loading zones at all, apparently.
that's kind of nice.
And
That's-
hmm?
I wonder if that's gonna like dip into the frame rate a bit if you enter specific areas. Wait, does that mean that is nothing instance then, or
yeah, apparently
that
they're
just
not
not
gonna have
loading?
instances, which could be bad. I guess we'll see.
I was gonna say that could be good, but it could also just have like 900 gold farmers around every boss.
Yeah,
If that,
yeah.
so, but yeah, like I don't know.
And
I feel like there's some things which would make would be more obvious if we had like a beta in English
yeah,
we could
yeah,
test.
yeah. Like right now, there's a Korean beta available, but they don't accept.
Closed Korean beta.
Yeah, they don't accept people like me, which makes me very sad.
Yeah.
But speaking of things which is very different from other MMOs, quests in this game give 0 XP.
Nice.
0 XP.
What?
I think you're supposed to get XP primarily from like battling monsters. So I guess you just like I encourage you to just like explore the world and see what you find and just kill stuff. And the quests are more for just
For rewards.
Also, I just want to point out, like, when looking through screenshots, this was one of the
is
few
going on?
posting screenshots I found. Like, I was expecting to see a ton of posting screenshots, but this was one of the few. It's really baffling.
And his arms are just lost.
I know.
He looks disfigured.
Can you ride that bird?
I hope you can.
That would be pretty great. That is a pretty.
This
good
is like a
looking bird.
chocobo, but much better.
That is a majestic
Yeah.
bird.
That is a kind of a small bird, but you know.
But about the quest thing, at least I think it shows that it'll not use the typical structure of an MMO where you
Yeah.
get to a new area, pick up a ton of quests, which either just kill a thing or talk with an NPC, then you do those and you move to the next area, which is very
Yeah.
too structured and too repetitive, really.
It is like because after the starting area, you just stop reading the quest text. You
Yeah.
just pick up every quest, and 90% of it is like killed 5 chickens, kill Draco the horse master, and like
Yeah.
I don't care who Draco the Horse Master is. I just want to get my experience.
And I think something
guys,
like this is
welcome.
probably what I least want to see. This is just MMO
That
bananas.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
That's one thing. Like Guild Wars 2 also had this system where you had these events, and they would just pop up in zones. And the moment one of those events started, you'd have like Billy and his pet yak that you would have to escort them through like a dangerous area, and you just have like 90 people surround Billy and his yak while he walks through the world, and just everything that spawns instantly explodes and dies because there's just that many people.
yeah.
Guild Wars 2 has problems, but yeah, like, uh, how is their loot system, by the way?
The loot system?
Because, yeah, like if there's something like this, would you get loot, or would it just be like a random person getting a hat, and then everyone else is like, well,
I have no idea about the loot system, to be honest.
mm,
But before moving on from this screenshot, I would just want to point out, like, as a general geek and nerd, I'm really happy that they indicate level progress like this.
33.05.
Yes.
Can you go back? Can you zoom in here?
Here? Meat?
Yeah.
Looks like you can't see the entire text here. It's
No,
blocked off.
no, don't worry about it.
Okay. Um, as briefly shown in the trailer.
Every archer has the same armor.
I think this is probably just beginning characters. I think that's the reason why you see
Yeah.
that jaw armor almost all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, as briefly shown in the trailer, like you can have rain almost everywhere, and there's also
Ah,
full day night cycle, and yes, that's a close up of her face, and this is
Yeah.
a close up of her arm.
Look at that texture.
is
She's got dry skin.
yeah.
That's a fraps counter.
That's a fraps counter.
And
I'll
this
probably
is
have
a
to- oh, what is,
stupid screenshot.
what is this resolution? Is this like over 2 screens or something?
This is 3 monitors, and
3 monitors.
I don't understand. I don't like this. I don't understand people who do this. I'm sorry. That's just my
I
opinion.
don't need this in my life.
I want to see it in person.
I mean, just imagine
I
having 3 monitors and 1 monitor just being this. No,
Yeah.
no, I don't like
Well,
it. No.
you can see Billy and his fish.
Yeah, Billy
I
the
guess that's-
fish. Yeah.
It's kind of cool though that like as you move, you don't have to adjust your point of view with the mouse or whatever. You can just like
Yeah,
turn
you
your head
just
to the
tilt
left.
your head left and right and just crush your neck after like 20 minutes of playing to see
Yeah.
things. Yeah,
I think that's
great.
kind of cool for a couple of
No,
minutes.
not for many minutes. I think like something like Oculus Rift would probably be more fun than that.
Yeah. I with like wide stuff like that, I just hate the perspective distortion you get at the sides, because it'll just like the whole fishbowl effect. It
just
just looks
weird.
stupid. I don't
Like,
like it. It looks ugly.
If you go back to that picture, like Billy doesn't look so good.
Shall I go back to the picture?
Yeah,
Okay. I don't have a good system for like going to specific pictures. I like kind of have to cycle through everything.
right. Well, at least we got to see everything again.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a cute little fox.
Yeah. It's like dudes. I kind of like this this picture.
I like. Yeah, that's a good picture.
That's a good picture.
That's a good picture.
I like
That pumpkin head dude was pretty cool as
Yeah.
well.
They're pretty shitty, and the guy posing is kind of weird.
Guy posing and
Close up.
Uh,
Okay, yeah, here we are.
like if you look all the way to the left, there's a very there's an odd looking one.
Yes,
He concerns me a bit with his stature.
yes. Would you say that this is the most worrisome thing about Black Desert so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Of everything I've seen so far, that guy is probably the main villain.
Yes. I think that
Whatever
makes
story
sense.
there is. I like the way the rocks look.
The
Like the
rocks?
little fences, I mean stone fence.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So-
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
yeah.
I'll just go through the list some more. There are pew pew weapons like muskets, and every class can use them. So a lot of pew pew if you want to do pew pew, pew pew.
I see Resident Evil 6. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. I'm just cycling through everything now. And as we barely mentioned earlier, you can buy houses, and then you can just
Yeah.
enter a Sims-like interface and just fully decorate the houses, which is kind of neat.
You mentioned siege weapons earlier. Can you use siege weapons on people's houses?
Uh, uh, um, there's a system in the game where you, as a guild, can try to capture castles, and I think siege weapons is used then. I don't know if you could use it anywhere. That would be kind of neat if you can, but I don't know.
Like basically, I'm asking, how much is this like EVE Online, where every now and then there's just a massive war where everyone dies?
EVE Online is weird.
EVE Online is really fun to read about, though.
Yeah,
I don't enjoy playing it at all, but reading about it is really interesting.
it is both interesting and sad to read, but
Depressing.
I can
Yeah.
remember reading about one like big battle where there like like hundreds of ships, and it sounded really interesting. But when they talked about how it actually happened, it worked in the way that
Oh yeah.
you would warp to the system, and there was so much lag that you would be dead before you actually saw yourself in that system.
Yeah, it sounds really fun. It just isn't. Like it's fun for people that really enjoy EVE
Yeah,
to play,
yeah,
and yeah.
and
But yeah,
mhm.
Black Desert.
Yeah. Yeah. When dying, you may lose inventory items.
Well, I'm okay with that.
But they've since changed the system, and they don't know what they should do.
Right.
So yeah,
Like I don't mind them adding a penalty for dying in an MMO because they don't ever do that.
I think I would prefer that kind of penalty rather than a typical like time-based penalty.
You lost 20% armor durability.
Or you have to like run back to some kind of area to get
Oh
resurrected.
God, yeah.
Or you just have like some kind of death
Or
penalty for a really long time where your stats are
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. I think the death penalty is probably still more an interesting system than a lot of the MMOs though, where it's like, you are now crap for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is fairly obvious based on the combat, but unlike many MMOs, there are no healing or just purely support classes in this.
yeah.
And there is some kind of simple climbing system which you can like climb on buildings and stuff for those people who want
That
to climb
seems kind
buildings.
I like climbing things.
And they have claimed that some of the trailer footage they have released was rendered using a GeForce 560, which is fairly
Mm.
well.
That's okay. Like it's not crazy expensive.
Yeah, like that's a middle range card from a couple of years ago, so that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
also like would just quickly go back to Terra and say that I hated the invisible walls in that game. Everywhere I went, there were invisible walls.
and the rare times you did reach areas which you kind of were supposed to get to, was just funky. Like there are certain
Yeah.
mountains you can climb up, and it's just weird, really.
Yeah, that actually kind of reminds me of Aeon. You had one of the like main capital cities. You could sort of fly around and fall down to your death, but you could also very slowly glide down if you jumped from certain mountains to mountains, and you just end up in this really super massive, unintentional area where there was just nothing. But it was really entertaining to be there. But like, at least I enjoyed that sort of freedom more than like the let's just put invisible walls everywhere system,
Yeah.
because then it just feels like there's no real reward for exploring at all. You don't get to see something that you wouldn't see by just following every quest.
Yeah, and for an open world game, I think it's very important to have exploration, which is very fun and interesting to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the open world
Like
aspect is a little bit wasted.
Yeah, like one thing I enjoyed about Dragon Dogma was that you could just climb up a random rock, and every now and then there would actually be a treasure chest
Yeah,
just lying around. Like there's no reason why that was there, but it was nice that it was, because there was then a reason to go to these random places other than just, oh, that looks nice.
yeah, and when you looked at all the combat footage, it's kind of effect heavy, and I've said that if you don't like the effects, you can turn most or all of them off.
Don't be ridiculous.
And there's a system apparently where you can hire NPC mercenaries to help you out in battle if you want to.
I am actually really okay with that. Like, I don't mind it being possible to not need people to play the game. That was one thing I liked about Guild Wars 1. If there was just no one there, or if I just felt like doing stuff by myself because it was tedious, I could just hire some random NPCs and be like, yo, do the boring work with me.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of like if you in Guild Wars 1, it was like, let's go do this thing for the 19th time because really this game doesn't have this many years of content. Why are we still playing it? And it would be nice to just do it with NPCs instead.
Yeah. I don't like people a lot of the time.
That's also a problem I have. Like I like the idea of an MMO, I just don't like actually talking to people and playing with them.
Like to be honest, if all MMOs had a maximum player limit of like 8 and they were my friends, that'd be perfect. Because I don't want other people.
I don't like. I quite like 8 as like a maximum group size, even if it can be a bit problematic. But like it's more than likely when you start playing an MMO with like 20 people, in like 2 weeks you'll have 10 at most
Yeah.
still playing the game, and
Yeah.
they'll all be at different levels. So
Yeah.
it is kind of nice to just be able to just get places.
I am. That is one aspect I'm curious about. Like, will the player level in this game matter a whole lot? Like, if you're 30 and you team up with a level 20 friend, is that just not viable?
Mhm.
I'm
The
curious
way they
about
did it in the way they did it in like Guild Wars 2 was that if you go to like super low level areas, the game would just level you down for that area. Like you just play as like a level 10 character instead of a level 500 character. And maybe this game will do something similar, but maybe it won't. I don't know.
I guess we'll see. And speaking of like,
There's a lot of stuff where it's like, we'll see.
yeah, and also like it is worth mentioning the game is in beta, so it is in the process of being very changed.
Yeah, and there's also no English publisher yet, which I guess is also kind of important. But they're working on that.
Yeah, and speaking of like player amounts and stuff, apparently when you're in a party, I think the party limit is 4. So I guess that's like the intended player count for like doing stuff in general in the game.
I like that
Or the
number.
player limit. I mean, yeah, that sounds fine. And
I can find 4 people. Even
Yeah.
I can do that.
and about the whole capturing castle system, if you do that, you can then receive taxes from people in that territory.
Oh my god.
I don't know if people means NPCs or the players. I kind of hope in a way that it's other players. I don't know.
It probably is. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You are now in this area. You must pay 5% of your money to me, the great King Elendor. Because there's always a character named Elendor,
And
or whatever that character name was.
another thing this game does differently compared to some other MMOs is that apparently there's more like it's more random or more varied in regards where they place like high level monsters and stuff. Like for instance, in the beginning areas there are high level monsters not too far away or high level dungeons.
That's kind of cool. Because that's another thing I liked about Dragon's Dogma, where the first time I played that game, I was just happily running around, and then I found a chimera and spent literally 30 minutes fighting it. But I enjoyed it because he could actually be killed at the same time if
Yeah.
you just spend enough time.
Yeah.
And then later I found out that I was just fighting him like an idiot, and it could have been done in like 10 minutes. But like, it's nice to have that not every area is just filled with 1,000,000 level 1 enemies.
Yeah. And they have an English version of the game. Well, I mean, they're working on an English version of the game, but as you said, they don't have a Western publisher yet. But they keep mentioning that they are in talk with various Western publishers, so I assume it won't take too long before they find one. I hope.
I imagine, like, considering how far they are, like they very much have like a working product right now. So, like, I imagine something like this, especially if you just come up with the character creator, you could just get someone somewhere. Would be nice.
Yeah. Oh.
I
Oh. Hmm?
Oh, that looks good.
Hmm?
That's a good screenshot. But
With the ship? Yeah, amazing.
no, go back. Go back. I want to zoom in on that guy. He seems cool.
I
Look at-
only
look at
saved
that.
this screenshot because it's a guy carrying a ship.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
Is a good enough reason if you ask me. But
This is also
all right,
good,
God,
Hmm?
I completely lost my train of thought.
Yeah. But yeah, I should mention
Oh yeah.
one. Oh yeah, no, you're gone.
Okay. Have they mentioned anything about how they would do it in terms of region servers? Like, if you're from America, can you play on a European server and vice versa?
That is entirely up to the publisher.
Right. Okay.
So the
That's-
developer doesn't really have any say
That's
about that. It
unfortunate.
sounds like.
Yeah.
But I really hope they make it open. It would be super neat if they just have one publisher, which is both US and European. That'd be neat. I would like that.
Yeah. Let's get NCSoft on board.
Yeah, there's one thing I have to mention, which is the most important thing. You should make sure you remain seated for when I say this.
I'm standing up right now, but continue.
The game supports Windows XP.
Windows XP doesn't support Windows XP. Who even cares?
I haven't been paying too much attention to the chat so far. I don't know if there's any super important stuff mentioned there.
Basically, that we should have had Sweet Deal on this podcast because I feel like he knows a lot more about the game than we do. But yeah.
He said something about if you own a castle, you own the region that castle is in. Apparently, you get taxes from drop sales, NPC sales, and etc. Yeah.
NCSoft won't buy any more games anymore.
I don't know if they would be a very good publisher anyway.
Mm.
I mean, there are a ton of publishers anyway. So I mean, I would-
imagine there's one that would take this.
Yeah,
thing.
I would be really surprised if they had trouble finding one. And I do
Yeah.
like it seems like they're very eager to finding one. They have a Facebook page where they keep talking with the English fans all the time.
Yeah, that's also kind of nice. That it's not like updated last February 2012.
It was only 2 days ago where they said on the Facebook page that they are in a talk. They are talking with a European publisher, and maybe they'll figure out something soon. We'll see, I guess.
2 days ago, being February 25th, 2014. Depending on when this podcast is going up, that probably isn't true anymore.
I will edit that to make it fit whatever date I put it. Like, today is February 20th, 2020.
Just like the Rock of Ages video, but yeah.
But yeah, I want to play this. I hope an English release isn't too far off. I want to play this. I hope it's
I
good.
want to try it out at least. I'm definitely curious about it. And it would be fun if there was like an MMO again that was actually fun to play at all.
Yeah, I haven't seriously played any MMO in ages. I think
Yeah.
Guild Wars 1 was the only one I've spent
I
a
just-
ton of time on, and I've played that way too much.
I just want an MMO that isn't World of Warcraft. I've been hearing that like what's it called? WildStar apparently has been getting pretty interesting, but I haven't really looked into that at all. But
I think I saw
aside
one
from
trailer
that,
of
like-
it.
yeah, apparently like WildStar is one of those games that just changes every time though, so it's like everything's different now than it was previously, but yeah. But it would be nice to have a game that's not World of Warcraft, not trying to be World of Warcraft, and not just stealing 80% of the things from World of Warcraft and then 20% interesting things.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, we made this new MMO. It's got a new character creator. It's gonna be pretty cool. Remember Aeon? Aeon. when that came out. I bought that game.
Uh,
When that came out, that was like the character creator was amazing back then. Like that was what the hell. But like the character creator in Aeon was pretty great because you could just change so much and every character could look absolutely ridiculous. And then you'd start playing and it would be like kill 15 crabs, kill 9 bird, kill big crab. Like it was just terrible and it was just so sad.
I am
And now Aeon's free to play and it's still not fun, but you can fly around. The music's really good in that game.
I am kind of sad World of Warcraft had that effect on the industry that it basically made every MMO that.
Yeah. That was one of the things that like that Guild Wars 2 it wasn't immediately like World of Warcraft and Jesus dudes, come on. Like Guild Wars 2, it wasn't like World of Warcraft. They definitely changed a lot of things, but it was still just so grindy. There was just nothing fun about really playing the game.
Yeah.
You would just go to an area, you do all the they renamed quests to events really, and pretty much just force you to play with other players. You wouldn't talk to other players, but other players would kill things with you, and you would get credit for it.
I am. Yeah. I mean. Yeah. I mean. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
Like that was my main problem. Like they made it like yeah you'll be able to play with other people, but you really don't. You're just in the same area, and people don't get angry at you for attacking the same enemy, which was nice, but there just wasn't enough good about the game. It also didn't help that you really only had like 8 skills in total with every character because of the way the weapon system worked in that game. Like you'd have several different weapons your class could use, but there really were just a couple weapons which were just better. Like the type of weapon was just better to use than the other ones, and you just only use that one and only use the same skills over and over and over for everything in the entire game.
I am really baffled. Like Guild Wars 1 was very flawed, but it had some good parts, and some of those good parts they either removed them or just completely changed them in Guild Wars 2. I don't
Yeah.
understand that. I don't understand that.
One thing that was really nice about Guild Wars, well, the thing about Guild Wars 1 is that the teams that were working on the balance were kind of dumb because like at first they were like, let's just have every skill be the same for PvE and PvP, and then they were like, let's not do that because that's actually dumb. And they changed it, and that was when they had like different skills for PvE and PvP, and then they like brought in a new balance team, and they were like, yeah, we can't be bothered to do that. And then just everything became horrible again in terms of skills, because there were some classes which were just basically unusable. Like elementalists were basically only used as monks, which was kind of dumb.
That is kind of strange.
And it was just
Yeah, I do occasionally, just for the heck of it, just briefly try some free-to-play MMOs now and then, and I feel so sad most of the time because it just kind of just plays exactly like World of Warcraft. Okay.
yeah, that was pretty much the reason. Like I figured I'd try out Terra. It had been a while. You could make a character that looked like a panda, and I was like, well, yeah, that works for me. So I made my own little panda, and just every single fight was the same, and it just wasn't interesting to me at all. Like I just found an enemy and I press 1 and I won. I could probably just stand still, walk away from my PC for 5 minutes, come back and then press 1 and still win.
To be
There
fair,
was just no sense of danger.
to be fair, if you do level up even further, you will you will like eventually reach enemies where you can't do that anymore. But yeah.
I wouldn't mind an MMO where it has good pacing, I guess.
Yeah, and I
Because the pacing.
I just want different formulas because almost every developer is doing the whole World of Warcraft thing, and that is just stop. Just do different things, please.
just stop.
Can I be
A
very
lot of
racist for a second here?
I'm worried, but
Like people.
I'm briefly just gonna go over my point before you get
Okay.
racist and get us banned.
Okay, sure.
Like a lot of people do say, like the main reason that people just go the World of Warcraft route is because MMOs are really expensive to make, and as such, they're like, let's not try anything new.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
just
yeah.
make our own game.
Yeah, I
and
think
then they
that's a
find
big part of
out
the problem.
like $100 billion later, it's like, oh, maybe making this game that already existed, only better, wasn't a good idea after all.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a bit, I don't know. They're weirdos. Now you can go be racist.
Okay,
I don't care
okay,
anymore.
okay. Racism time. Okay. So, when it comes to MMOs, developers in US and Europe, horrible. Oh, Japan too. Horrible, stupid, horrible. South Korea seems to be the only company, I mean country, which is able to like make MMOs, which is actually new, like Black Desert and Vindictus and C9 and Dragon
Even,
Nest and Elsword, and they just make they're able to make MMOs which are actually different. They're actually different. They're not
Even like,
they're not wow. They're different.
like even like I would actually like defend even Aeon for that, just because of the character creator they had.
And that's
Just because
Korean. That's South Korean.
They worked on it, and Panya.
Panya is great.
I'm
Panya.
not sure if that counts as an MMO game, but yeah,
I'm gonna make it
The
count
thing-
because it's great.
it is. Yeah, Panya is basically the greatest game, but yeah, I like the thing is like America. They like you could make a new MMO in America, but it's just not gonna be able to do anything against World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And yeah, where is WildStar being made anyway?
That might be actually Western,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong. I don't know much about it.
I don't know. I don't really know much about WildStar except that the first time I saw a screenshot of it, it was just like, yeah, this is just World of Warcraft again. But then they apparently changed a whole bunch of stuff, and now everything's apparently different. But yeah, pancakes.
Apparently, I should mention Arch-Age as well. I actually not sure what that is, but I'll mention that too, according to
There you
Sweetie
go.
in the chat.
Sweet deal has been right so far, so I can.
Sweet Deal asks, what do you guys think about the PvP stuff? PvP flag after 40 for full account? I'm not sure what that means.
Where is he asking?
Does that mean that PvP isn't possible until you're level 40?
Or does it mean that after you're level 40, you just get you can get punched in the face? Because that is kind of how it reads to me. Because in like World of Warcraft, you have like PvP servers, and you just start off in a whole bunch of zones where you can only get attacked by other players from like from like Alliance if you attack them, and then you get to a certain point in the game where you just get to areas where everyone can attack you.
Yeah.
I don't like that system personally.
I don't.
It gets a
yeah.
bit annoying. It gets a bit annoying when there's like level 80 people sitting around in like a level 20 zone, because like, yeah, I can kill people here. Go die, level 20 scum. It's like
I think like a free PvP system would be okay if high level players aren't that much more powerful than you, and also the open world is completely open world, and you can just like try to plan your route, taking like paths which people don't usually take or something like that. I don't know.
yeah. One thing that which could also be cool is the thing Sectus did when he was playing World of Warcraft.
Oh, should I tell this story?
Yeah, you can tell that story.
Okay. So I played World of Warcraft for like 2 weeks, and I didn't like it much. But one thing I which I think is one of my favorite things, like favorite moments in any MMO ever, which is that as a low-ish level character, I can't remember my level. As an alliance character, I decided to move my way all the way to the Horde starting zone, which was quite an adventure in itself. And then in the Horde starting zone, like around the starting zone, I found this very small castle with alliance NPCs, so they were friendly towards me. So, and this is on a PvP server, by the way. So I decided to make myself lord of this castle. So I just stood there and I pretended to be this NPC boss, and whenever like Horde characters approached the castle, I would kill them. It was so much fun.
But it's nice though that was the thing you could do.
Yeah.
Like that's a possibility. Like it's not like you were horribly overpowered either. You were just like
I was
slightly over low
yeah,
level.
yeah, I was a little bit overpowered. I was killed a couple of times there by players, even though I killed
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I think we might be running out of things to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black Desert, I want to
Yeah,
play
apparently,
it when
once you get level 40, you get PvP flagged and you cannot turn it off except in cities. You're apparently safe.
I think that just depends on the game overall. Like maybe it's fine, maybe it would be
Yeah.
a problem. I think we just need more
It-
no more
It
context.
does, yeah. Like if you do just get one shotted by if like a level 80, I don't know what the level cap in that game. If a level 1000 dude comes over and just casts a meteor down from the sky in the level 40 area and instantly kills everyone, like that would be just a bit annoying.
Yeah.
I would not like that very much. But if it's just like a minor thing, because I can't imagine most people would spend an entire, well, I can't imagine some people spending an entire day in level 80 land being an overpowered character and just killing everyone, but most people would just get bored after like 5 minutes.
Speaking of the level cap is 50.
50. Well, that's fine then.
But apparently they have this weird system where you can still level up in some fashion after 50. It's just like stupidly slow. I'm not sure how it's gonna work.
Diablo 3 has a Paragon system where once you get max level, you basically start up a new leveling thing where you get like really minor bonuses, like very slow, little bit of extra movement speed and stuff like that. Maybe it's like that. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just a number.
Yeah, but if they have a system where level 50 is the cap and that is roughly your maximum like power, and level 40 is where you are forced into PvP, I think that might sound fine, because I assume the difference between 40 and 50 won't be a billion.
Well, it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
Like,
It depends.
I guess it also I was thinking of World of Warcraft, but in that game it's like they increase the level cap by 10, but then they also just drastically change all the equipment between 40 and 50. Like as an example, it's not those numbers, but like you'll just find you'll just have like the best equipment for your level at the time, and then an expansion comes out and you find like a goblin who is like just a regular goblin, and he drops like some broken boots which are somehow better than the boots which you're wearing, which are on fire and made by dragons. And like somehow the goblin's crappy poop boots are just a little bit better than those dragon crafted jet boots that you spent 3 years working on to get. But yeah. MMOs, man.
MMOs. Oh, I
just want to build. I just want to build a thing somewhere.
I am gonna
Bother.
play this segment at a really slow speed. Look at that rain.
Okay.
Look at it. Look at that rain. So good. Looks so wet. Looks so shiny.
So shiny.
I like this rain.
And this is my favorite.
Oh, the lightning. Oh, lightning. Oh, so good. So good. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Black Desert, you guys.
Yeah, it has a weather report. 10 out of 10.
I will imagine that whenever this is actually available for me to play, I will be recording a billion videos of this, so people can look forward to that, I guess.
I won't, but I'll play along with Sectus for at least a day.
I will try to create boss mania mods for this.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I won't.
No. But yeah, like I'll definitely try that when it comes out, if it comes out. But yeah.
I want a FluffyQuack guild to control every single castle in the entire world.
Not gonna happen. But you know, it would be an interesting thing.
And I want us to do a siege, and I'm gonna be all, hey, you guys, move ahead to the walls! I will just shoot you all with a cannon.
I can see you doing that.
I'm sorry, but
I also like. after you kill us all, we should actually have like a proper siege where we like just actually go at like a castle
Yeah.
and not get killed by you. Maybe like after we won, you can shoot a little cannon at us.
Yeah.
You can try to dodge it. But,
And
you know,
and also we should find another castle after that, like assemble a huge army with a lot of siege weaponry, and then move to the castle, be right outside, and be prepared to attack and be all, "Hey guys, wanna have some tea?" And then we just have tea with them.
yeah. Then they'll come outside and then
drink tea.
I get bored. And throw their tea in their face. And they'll be like, wait a minute, this isn't tea. This is sulfuric acid. And then it actually just destroys all of their gear and they have to start all over from scratch.
Yeah, that's
this-
gonna be possible.
That's
God
gonna be a
damn it,
thing.
MMOs.
That's gonna be one of the things you can buy from the in-game store. Sulfuric acid, which destroys characters.
Yay! Pay to win, pay to grief.
Pay to destroy happiness.
Oh god.
I don't remember which MMO it was, but I remember there was an MMO where you would basically immediately get PvP flagged, and the only way to not just constantly get ganked by everyone was to buy this item from the in-game store, which temporarily removed your PvP flag. That game didn't do so well, but it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's a podcast.
Yeah, who wants to mention something that's not been mentioned yet?
Okay, matey.
No.
Okay.
Sky Zelda.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. We haven't thought about that. Oh, yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say that I really like all the customization stuff because whenever I play like Skyrim or Oblivion, it's pretty limited in what I actually want to do with my character. And
Oblivion had a good character creator. It's just that whatever you did, you looked horrible.
well, that's true too. That's true too. But,
Oblivion had a lot of sliders. They just didn't do enough. But I made a great Mr. Bean looking character when I played it.
What I did in Oblivion was that I tried to create a character and I failed. I played for 5 minutes and I noticed an NPC which looked good, and then I modded the game to make sure that I looked exactly like that NPC. That was my solution.
I created Mr. Bean, and then I found a helmet 3 minutes in, and I never saw my face ever again.
That is one thing I briefly want to mention, by the way. Like, all the footage we've seen so far of Black Desert, you always see the character face.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
okay with
they
that.
should. Considering how much effort they put into this, it would be kind of a shame. It's like, yeah, this footage is actually irrelevant. It's pretty much like an entire trailer worth of features right here. But yeah, 3 minutes in, you're going to get a mask which covers your entire face. Forever.
and I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
I really like the idea that what I've seen of it, I like the idea that you can just chill and do different activities.
Oh yeah, and this and when reading interviews, it seems like that is something they've emphasized a lot. That some people can they can primarily do combat if they want, but there's also you can also just do a ton of other stuff. You can do farming, like set up trade routes, just make houses. I don't know, stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
That's
variety.
really
in
milk a
activities.
cow. I always wanted to milk a cow in Dragon's Dogland. I couldn't milk any cows.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Like, that's kind of like my recent experience with Terra is probably like the most in-depth experience I've had with an MMO, and I guess I played that for like 2 weeks, and the only reason I was interested is because I was just impressed with how pretty it was for being free, and the combat is different, but it's not the best. But it was still enjoyable just because it's different. And from what I've seen of this so far, it's like 100 steps up from that. And it looks like it will have more than just being pretty to keep me interested, and that's nice.
Yeah.
I just want to randomly point out I like that animation where she puts the knife back in the holster like that. In the scabbard.
Bullworker adds a point. Like, is there any story in this game?
Yes, I have completely ignored all story stuff, so I don't know about that, but there is a story, yeah.
There you go. It has lore.
I am sorry, but after playing several MMOs, I've just completely ignored stories in MMOs, so maybe that's a good one. I don't know. I have no idea.
I have done the same thing. I did that when the brief amount of time I played Terra. I read the first couple quests, and then it was like, I don't care what happens to any of these people. I'm just gonna play the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are quests delivered in this game?
From NPCs, you talk with them, I guess.
Well, yeah, but is it like you talk to them and you get like a gigantic block of text where it's like, but it eventually just ends up being kill 5 squids, or do they talk, or?
Well, I can at least say that there is no, there are no voice acting for dialogues, but you do get text, and I mean, I don't know much about the quest, so I can't really say much about that.
Because I find myself not caring about anyone if they put a giant block of text in my screen. Because the thing is, you'll end up in a new, like, I don't know if this game will do it differently, obviously, but if you end up in a town and there's like 15 exclamation marks, I'm not going to remember what the first person said when I'm at the 15th person talking about their dead kid who ate too much berries, and now you have to kill every berry monster that poisoned the berries or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
at least when they talk to me, at least there's a chance I'll listen.
I guess there's a chance, although from the little I played of Guild Wars 2 and also Terra, I just end up skipping everything even though it was voiced, because I like I tried to pay attention at the start and then I just stopped caring. Oh my god, I am sorry if I'm offending someone right now, but that was definitely the case with Final Fantasy XIV. That has fully voiced characters and fully voiced cutscenes, and I thought it was all stupid gibberish.
Oh god, I remember the only thing I remember about Final Fantasy XIV story was that it randomly just turned into Star Wars again.
Yeah, exactly. It was, yes. What?
Like, it was just exactly like Star Wars, which bothered me. Which I was like, well, okay then.
I didn't realize it had a story.
Yeah, you need to do pretty specific quests to actually get story, but the story was just not good.
Yeah.
So
I think this is like the 10th time we're getting close to ending the podcast.
Final Fantasy XIV story doesn't get decent until the end.
Oh god.
I'm gonna say that's not worth playing through then. Then again, I've never played an MMO for the story. I didn't play Guild Wars 1 for the story.
Prince Rurik.
I definitely didn't. God.
I remember these lads as a child. Now look at them now.
God. The best thing that came out of the story in Guild Wars 1 was that there was a play late in one of the expansions which just made fun of the story in Guild Wars 1. Let's end the podcast. I'm pretty done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'll just end the podcast with this beard. That's a pretty great beard.
Good ending. Yeah.
Bye, peeps.
That kind of reminds me of an Aeon character I made once.
Bye.
Bye.